Cancelled.
Schweezy.
How are people in the U.S. still vote Republican when their track record is as bad as it is? I'm serious. How are more than 10% of the people able to vote for a party as disastrous as Republicans? Ever since the 60s, this party is completely nuts and out of control. How is that possible? Is it only Fox News? Can't be. So as an American, and I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. You know, this reminds me of a story that's not related to this, but there was a period of time where if you wanted to listen to a song and you wanted to listen to it whenever you wanted to, there was a time when CDs were popular, records were out, tapes were out, CDs were popular, and before the iPod, where sometimes you bought like a $10 plus item or plus album just for one song. Sometimes you just did that shit. Like you like this song so much, hear it on the radio, and then like when tapes were out, because people would just tape the radio, they could listen to it as much as they want. But then, you know, when it was CDs, my dad would buy, you know, a CD for one song sometimes, you know. He had a job. Like he was fine. You know, he had a job. No big deal. And remember one CD, but he was I'm proud to be an American, where at least, and like, you know, and I get he was never really a patriotic guy, but he was always like, but he liked that song for some reason. He's just like, I'm proud. You know, that's the thing, that the people who were like, let's market 9/11 were probably the best marketing. If marketing people have an award, I once had to play a gig at like the State Farm Awards or something like that. So I'm not like acting like I'm better than anyone else, but like if there's, you know, some award for that, I think it would be pretty good. But anyways, though, let's get to the actual question. So when especially in like smaller areas, a lot of ideas, you know, like the liberal ideas was like, all right, so like we go from like these small towns, like let's say population 500, sometimes even less, their town. They don't want to stick with the city guy who doesn't understand what they're going through, and like all their problems, because their local elections still don't do anything either. So like that, so like they don't really like because Democrats kind of like shame rural life, but Republicans kind of praise it, even though they're the exact same as the Democrats when it comes to people living in rural areas. So there's that, but like Republicans kind of like got those people to like them. It's like a cool, like we do things a little different around here. Like they're kind of like that as well. So it's like that, but like Republican, because a lot of like small town areas, sometimes they have unions and shit like that. So it's very weird with the Democrat thing, because Democrats have kind of always been LA, Hollywood elites and shit like that, and you don't really like them, and you learn the Hollywood people are pedophiles, but then, you know, Republicans are pedophiles too, and shit like that. So you have that, and so it's really like a culture of small town living. You're like, oh, you're a Democrat, and, you know, one big thing they do it is the Christianity whole thing, like if you knock a woman up and at 2 days you get it aborted, it's like, it's a baby, it's a real baby now. You're like, okay, you know, they believe that. And, you know, I feel like everyone needs to believe what they believe. But then, like, they somehow wrapped Christianity around it, which, if you want to look in the Old Testament, I believe, I wish I could reference the verse, but I believe that if a man thinks his wife has been into infidelity, I can't remember the other words, they just abort the baby. So, you know, the Old Testament has some stuff like that, and then the New Testament didn't update it on that shit, so you can follow whatever you want to believe. A book from the Bronze Ages, common sense, follow whatever you want to believe. Common sense, a book from the Bronze Age, follow what's smart. So, you know, they got the Christians involved, and a lot of small town people, even if they don't really, sometimes, like, I feel like a lot of people, like, do you believe in the afterlife? And they're kind of like me, but haven't thought about it as much. Where it's like, maybe, you know, there might be something out there, but I don't know. I grew up Christian, and So part of like my existence was believing in that, and I want to believe the good things, but when I get rid of the bad things, and so different from there. But yeah, Republicans, there's like the small town life Republicans. Republicans are the ones who are going to help these small towns and shit like that. Well, a lot of times Democrats that have like socialist policies are the ones that like fund a lot of shit, like libraries, the postal service, firefighters, even police. That's a socialist thing. Police are a socialist thing, which is funny. They're like, I'm not a socialist, but I'm a police officer, and I'm a socialist. I believe I should help people, not be giving out random tickets to make money. That's not what I'm about. But anyways, though, yeah. So it's kind of like a small town thing, and it's just in their nature. You vote you vote Republican. That's what the good people are, the Republicans, and that's how they grew up that way. And it's kind of wrong. A lot of times you can talk some common sense to some people where they don't like the Republicans either. They're kind of like me with Joe Biden. We're like, all right, I'd rather have Joe Biden as president if I have to look at the other options. And then it's like, do you like Joe Biden? Fuck no. Fuck that guy. Anyways, yeah, that's that there. Thank you for watching this clip.